Good morning. Welcome to Unity Orlando. Our opening statement this morning is, I live and move and have my being. And a heavenly angel sing. Oh, we're still there. I can hear
The
them.
angels are singing.
Anyway, we could do some background. I live and move and have my being in a sea of God life and God love. Let's all affirm that together. I live and move and have my being in a sea of God life and God love. All right, let's all close our eyes, take a nice deep breath in, and let's affirm that together in the silence. And so it is. And now if you'd like to stand and help us sing our joy song this morning, it's called From My Heart, From My Soul. The struggle, I release and I let go, lift away all the sorrow, all the pain in my soul. I let God's power use me, I release all control, feel God's strength coming through me, open heart, I am whole. I let go the struggle, I release and I let go, lift away all the sorrow, all the pain in my soul. I let God's power use me, I release all control, feel God's strength coming through me, open heart, I am whole. I release, I let go from my heart, from my soul. I release, I let go from my heart, from my soul. I let go of the struggle, I release and I let go, lift away all the sorrow, all the pain in my soul. I let God's power use me, I release all control, feel God's strength coming through me, open heart, I am whole. I release, I let go from my heart, from my soul. I release, I let go from my heart, from my soul. I let go. All right, thank you. You may be seated.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Woo. It's morning. Okay, since Susan's doing the lesson today, I'm doing the announcements. Woo-hoo. Okay, visitors, I don't think so. We got the power 3 here, okay. The chaplains are available to pray for you. As you know, Susan's a chaplain, and...
Reverend Paul.
Oh, Paul, right.
Turn your fan on.
Oh, sorry. It's hot first thing in the morning. If you're online, stay there. We'll get it through it. Okay. Reverend Lulu has a class coming up. It's In the Flow of Life. Good book. There are flyers on the credenza, In the Flow of Life, and it's a new study she's doing. It's on Zoom. It's not this Tuesday, but August 5th, Tuesday at 7 p.m. So take one of these when you leave and check it out. We always get good reviews of her books. Okay, Susan's lesson today is creating a heart-centered life. However, as in tradition here, we have a little story for you, a little joke. So Dave was bragging to his boss one day, said, you know, I know everyone there is to know. Just name someone, anyone, and I know them. So his boss was tired of hearing him brag about stuff, so he said, okay, Dave, how about Tom Cruise? Oh, I know Tom Cruise. We're old friends, and I can prove it. So Dave and his boss fly out to Hollywood and knock on Tom Cruise's door, and Tom Cruise shouts, Dave, what's happening? Great to see you. Come on in for a beer. Although impressed, Dave's boss is still skeptical. After they leave Cruise's house, he tells Dave that he thinks knowing Cruise was just lucky. No, name anyone. Okay, President Bush, long time ago. Yes, let's old buddies, let's fly over to Washington. And they go. At the White House, Bush spots Dave on the tour and motions him over, saying, what a surprise, Dave. I was just on my way to a meeting, but you and your friends come on in and let's have a coffee. Well, boss is still skeptical. So they leave the White House and he says, come on, anyone else? He goes, the Pope. Ooh. So they fly to Rome. Dave and his boss are assembled with the masses in Vatican Square when Dave said, this won't work, he can't see me. Tell you what, I know all the guards, so just let me go upstairs and I'll come out on the balcony with the Pope. As he disappears into the crowd toward the Vatican, sure enough, a half hour later, Dave emerges with the Pope on the balcony. Then he comes out and finds paramedics all around his boss. He's passed out. And he said, what's happened? The boss looks up and says, I was fine until you came out on the balcony with the Pope. And the man next to me said, who the heck is that on the balcony with Dave? Got there eventually. Okay. So Susan is doing this talk today, as you know. She is here at Unity, and we adore her. She's always working around here and helping, not just because she's our board president or a professional photographer or a band singer. It's just because she has an amazing, loving soul. So we're blessed by her. It comes from a wonderful heart. And here is Susan Francis.
Push the button. Yeah. On the bottom.
There's a little button. There we go. All right. Thank you, Tinker. That was really awesome.
Here's Dave.
And yeah. Who is that guy with Dave? All right. Here's a song. I love it because Susan picked all the songs today for her talk, and she picked good ones. Yeah. And here's one called Open Heart.
Yesterday, I saw a leaf fall from a tree, and it reminded me of love. And then today, I felt some love fall on me, and it helped me see the wonderful world God gave to me. Yesterday, I heard a voice whisper to me, and I heard it mention love. And then today, it was like music to my ear. It was very clear that God was here and said, I am always near. incision and it opened up my heart. And the vision filled up my soulful heart, and it made love come to fill my open heart. And then yesterday I felt some love slip away, but could it bring more love my way? And then today the reward came to my door. It was hard to ignore, there's a dream here to be had, so just be glad. And the vision made an incision and it opened up my heart. And the vision filled up my soulful heart, and it made love come to fill my open heart. And the vision made an incision and it opened up my heart. And the vision filled up my soulful heart, and it made love come to fill my open heart. And the vision is real when you're feeling what you feel with an open heart. And the vision is real when you're feeling what you feel with an open heart. Yeah, the vision is real than what you feel with an open heart.
Ding, 1, 2. There we go. Okay. Thanks. Good morning. How's everybody doing today? I'm Susan Francis. You're not your platform speaker, but you're a speaker today. Oh my gosh, you guys have no idea how blessed we are to have Brian's beautiful vision of music. I mean, like he said, I got to pick the songs. I have a slight in with John because he has everything on his iPad, all the songs, and so I'm like, I'm going to talk about having an open heart. And I want you to listen to the next song we sing and see if you can hear that word in there too. I literally was able, any subject you want, you can find it in Brian's songs. So it's pretty amazing. I should actually do my talks based on your songs. That could be cool. That'd be very cool. All right. Well, today I wanted to talk about an approach to life that might be novel to some people. But I'm hoping you might be open to it. And what I'm talking about is living a heart-centered life. So living a spiritual life with an open heart is a path of deep courage, presence, and love. It's not just a life of achievements or checklists or appearances, but a life deeply rooted in love and compassion. It's a life in presence and authenticity and in our divine connection. Essentially, we're living from the inside out. So in New Thought, which is what is the umbrella that Unity falls under, we understand that the divine is not just outside of us, but it's actually within us, of course. And the heart is not just a physical organ, but it's a spiritual center. It's the link to our higher self and our God self. In comparing the mind and the heart, of course, the mind calculates and the heart knows. The mind protects, but the heart connects, like that little rhyme there. And the mind asks, what's the plan? And the heart asks, what's the truth? So in the Gospel of Thomas 3, which Jesus says, the kingdom is within you and it is outside of you. When you come to know yourselves, then you will become known and you will realize that you are the children of the living Father. So we come to know ourselves not just through logic alone, but through the deep listening of our heart. In our fast-paced world, of course, we're often taught to lead with the mind. I mean, and of course you need that, of course, but the mind is used for reasoning and planning and analyzing. And it's a beautiful tool, but the heart is our spiritual compass. The heart knows what the mind forgets, that we are already whole, that we are divine, and that we're connected to something greater, and of course, expressions of the divine. We believe the divine lives within us, and it speaks most clearly not through the noise of the brain, but through the quiet knowing of the heart. So I have a slide coming up. Ernest Holmes reminds us that love is the central flame of the universe, nay, the very fire itself. And when we live from the heart, we live from that flame. So believe it or not, the heart actually has an intelligence of its own. I mentioned this in my talk a few months ago on intuition. Your heart, of course, has a mechanical function, but it also possesses an intelligence of its own. And researchers have discovered the heart's connected to the brain and the body through a network of neurons. Often this network is called the heart-brain. And this enables the heart to process information and make decisions on its own. This can influence our perceptions, emotions, and our well-being. Like, who knew, right? I think most of us think it's all here in the brain. Well, when we live a heart-centered life, our heart rhythms work in harmony with the rest of our body. And so again, that's going to affect our physical and our emotional and mental health. So what does it mean to have or live a heart-centered life? Being heart-centered means that we orient your life around the values of love, compassion, and empathy. It involves making decisions and taking actions that are aligned with our authentic self and your capacity for caring for others. When we live from the heart, we become more attuned to what truly matters, those things like connection, kindness, truth, and inner peace. We pursue harmony within ourselves and in our relationships with others. The open heart doesn't mean that we're naive or without boundaries. Don't get me wrong. It means that we're courageous enough to stay soft and open in a world that often demands hardness. A heart-centered life is definitely different from a life driven by the mind or the ego. The opposite of a heart-centered life would be described as a mind-centered or ego-driven life. And these approaches to life prioritize logical reasoning, personal gain, external achievements, and emotional, over being from the heart, which is connecting emotionally and having compassion. When we live a mind-centered or ego-driven life, decisions are often guided by the desire for recognition, power, material gains, rather than by compassion and authenticity. And and we're not really concerned with the mental well-being of ourselves or others when we live that way. You think that material things and accolades will make you happy, and some might spark joy for a little while. I mean, who doesn't like a new pair of shoes or a new outfit, or in John's case, my loving husband, a new guitar, right? Who doesn't love that? But you end up feeling unfulfilled and waiting for the next thing to bring you pleasure. So a heart-centered living approach embraces connection, authenticity, peace, and fulfillment, whereas mind-centered or ego-driven living is more attached to that achievement and materialism. Ego-centered living sometimes satisfies intellectual needs for a while, but often leads to a sense of disconnection from others and one's own deeper self, and really does seldom lead to true satisfaction in life. Dr. Wayne Dyer who I'm sure many of you know, often called the ego, the acronym, edging God out. I think that's phenomenal. It says a lot and very accurate. So heart-centered living is an inner shift that we have to make if we're not used to doing this. So most of us, through life's pain and disappointment, build walls around our heart to protect ourselves. We may guard ourselves against and trying to avoid rejection, heartbreak, and grief. But the true spiritual growth that we're trying to achieve involves gently releasing this. And so an open heart allows for healing, and not just for ourselves, but of course those we encounter and spend our life with. Living a spiritual life means embracing practices that soften us. Practices like forgiveness of ourselves and of others. Practices like gratitude, and that would be something we might want to do on a daily, having a daily devotion to that, whether you write it down or usually at night before I go to sleep, I'll kind of run through the day and pray for the things I'm grateful for. Also, another way or another practice is to have stillness in your life, to become still so we can hear that inner voice. And compassion as a daily act of service is having compassion for others. To create a heart-centered life, we need to turn inward. It's less about what we do, but how we do it. And a heart-centered life is not always the easiest path, but it definitely is the most authentic. It really asks us to slow down, to tune in, and to respond to life from love, not fear. Think about that. How many times do we respond out of fear to situations that we're involved in? Living from the heart means that we shift from reacting to responding. We shift from judging to accepting. And, judging is, I think we're all, we all tend to sometimes do this, judge everything. Judge how someone's lawn looks when you walk by their house, or why doesn't their dog have a haircut, or what shirt someone's wearing, or, how someone's behaving, or what their car looks like, that kind of thing. So it's easy to fall into that trap. I'm here to tell you, just let it go, let it wash over, and try and be accepting. Another shift would be from pushing to allowing. And it's really the difference between striving and surrendering to divine flow, and that can give us deep inner peace in our life. So I have a few qualities that define a heart-centered life. The first would be compassion. Not just for others, but for ourselves. Having a heart-centered life begins with kindness towards our own journey, right? Imperfections and all. Sometimes we are our harshest critics, right? Another quality would be presence. The heart lives in the now. It's not in the regrets of the past or worrying about the future. Every breath, every smile, every interaction becomes sacred when we are truly present in the moment. Authenticity is another quality. When we lead from the heart, we drop the masks. We stop trying to be who we think we should be and allow ourselves to be who we really are, of course, warts and all. And finally, the last quality would involve courage. A heart-centered life is not passive. It's being bold. It means standing in truth and choosing love when fear is louder, and trusting, of course, in divine guidance. Living from the heart is not soft. It's one of the bravest things we can do in this life. It means listening when we want to run and speaking truth when we'd rather stay silent, and standing in that truth. And of course, again, trusting in spirit through it all. I found this message in the Daily Word from this past June. The Daily Word is Embrace Life. I love how they always say the Daily Word, but it's actually sometimes a whole sentence. It's not just one word. But embrace life. It said, I wholly embrace life. Perhaps the best way to have a full experience of life and love is to welcome all of it with an open mind and heart. I will miss out on all life has to offer if I stay comfortably on life's surface. Do you know anybody that lives like that? A little bit just skimming across the top of the surface, never risking my heart, avoiding investing myself too deeply, and not drawing close to others. It goes on to say, I make a new choice by pushing past my fears and embracing life. I realize opening my heart and giving of myself involves some risk, but the potential benefits far outweigh it. The more I give of myself and the more I will receive in connection, purpose, and meaning. God is with me always. I embrace life and trust in the protecting, prospering presence of the divine. I love the Daily Word. If you guys don't read it on a daily basis, there is an app you can get on your phone and you can see it every day. It can be read to you or you can read it as well. So in living with an open heart, our goal is to integrate the intelligence of that heart and the wisdom of the mind. By respecting our mind instead of trying to ignore or repress it, we can come into alignment that will lead us to a more fulfilling and purposeful life. I have in this slide a quote from Dr. Brian Weiss's book, which I have here. The book is called Messages from the Master, Tapping into the Power of Love. And he says, come from the heart, the true heart, not the head. When in doubt, choose the heart. This does not mean to deny your own experiences and that which you have empirically learned through the years. It means to trust yourself to integrate intuition and experience. There is a balance, a harmony to be nurtured between the head and the heart. If you don't know who Dr. Brian Weiss is, he's a very prominent, famous psychiatrist who is an expert on past life regression. His most famous book is Many Lives, Many Masters. And he got into this field because he would hypnotize his patients in order to help them. And he did that and kind of stumbled across regressing them. And it just exploded from there. So he's a great author to read. Okay, so when you make the personal change to live from the heart, you are creating a more heartfelt world for yourself and, of course, everyone around you. In this next slide from Psalm 51:10, David says, create in me a pure heart, O God, and renew a steadfast spirit within me. So most of my life, I tried to live this way with my heart wide open. I've actually had healers I've gone to say, oh my gosh, your heart is just completely burst open. And I'm like, okay. It was just how I am. I didn't really think much about it. But it really, as I wrote this talk, I realized it started in my early childhood. Simply watching an innocent TV show like Lassie. Now I'm dating myself. Good old Lassie. I would become emotionally involved in the plot, and I would often cry because I couldn't see a way out. I was so worried about Lassie. He's not going to come back. And I just couldn't, see a happy resolution. So I would just cry and cry, and my parents would often comment, oh, there she goes again. There, Susie's crying over a silly show. And so not knowing any better, that's what they called me, Susie. Not knowing any better, and through more and more discouragement of showing my emotions, I decided I better shut it down, right? And so I slowly built up walls around my heart. I naively thought that's the way we cope and live in this materialistic world. So through most of my 20s, I kept a tight rein on my heart and emotions. It wasn't until my oldest daughter was born that boom, your heart can't help but burst open, right? You have this innocent, totally dependent child to take care of. So I moved forward with my life and have tried to live a heart-centered life ever since. Of course, it's not easy, and sometimes we do go into protection mode or the ego mind takes over, but it's well worth the effort to strive each day to approach everything with an open heart. And it could be The first half of the day, you feel wonderful and your heart's wide open, and then it gets shut down later in the day. And so sometimes we have to keep coming back to focusing on the heart and trying to open it up. And I really mean that sincerely. We do have to work towards it because that ego mind wants to keep those walls up. So living this way might seem foreign, but it's a way of looking at life through loving eyes. We choose to believe in the inherent goodness of life, even when things are hard, and trusting in Spirit and God, and knowing that things are always working out for our highest good, even if we can't see it yet. And I love how Reverend Bob talks about that saying, when faced with a challenge. You probably all could say it verbatim. I can't wait to see the good that comes from this. I try and look at that regularly when things don't go the way I think they should be. So Charles Fillmore, who's our founding father of the Unity Movement, he taught that love is a fundamental divine principle and attribute of God. He also believed in a love center, he called it, and that's located in the heart area, that heart chakra. And it can be activated, he said. He said this can be done by practicing affirmations and spiritual exercises to awaken and develop this love center. Charles also believed that open heart living involves denying the appearance of evil and affirming the omnipotence and omnipresence of love and goodness. He says by refusing to see anything but good and declaring what might seem evil or bad has a hidden good side. Individuals can use their creative power of thought to transform negative situations into positive ones, allowing divine love to bring healing. That's pretty powerful. So in this next slide from the Bible, from Romans 5:5, Paul says God's love has been poured out into our hearts through the Holy Spirit. So recently, while speaking to a family member who was discouraged with the state of the world and the country, I was told I have my head in the clouds when I said I choose not to participate in the craziness and madness all around me. I don't agree, but maybe I actually do. I don't mind having my head in the clouds because it brings me closer to God. I would rather be getting my strength from God by raising my eyes up to him. Okay, so in my head, it's up in the clouds. But I get my strength there, and I always try and look for the good. I would rather get that than fall into all the pain and the challenges that surround us. We don't help, and I've said this before, we don't help others by dropping our energy to their level. Don't get me wrong, of course. We definitely want to be compassionate and hold space for others who are struggling. But we definitely must stay strong and focused. I found an explanation about this I came across, I don't know if you're familiar with Abraham Hicks. He's Esther Hicks, she channels him. He's an entity of many spirits, but he says, you cannot look at that which you do not want and not join and perpetuate that vibration, right? So he talks about not focusing on what you don't want. Take your attention from that which is not in harmony with who you are, and your now vibration will adjust to who you really are, and then you can uplift others, okay? So that's what I mean by not bringing yourself down. I also trust that positive outcomes are coming into expression. That's another quote from one of the daily words. Excuse me. In discussing this talk with my angel Enoch, and I've talked about that before, I talk to him on a regular basis, and I just hear him after I meditate, I connect, just write down what he says, and often I don't even remember what he said until I go back and read it. And in preparing this talk, I asked him, tell me about living a heart-centered life. It's phenomenal, the things he says. So he talked to me 3 days. And the first day he said, living with an open heart is the only way to live. Having an open heart, that this will attract good all around you. He says it lets you see all the good in people and in the world. It's almost like a type of vision or glasses that color your world for good. Like rose-colored glasses is something that anyone can have, he says. Having a heart shut down is a hard life, a long slog. I like that word, slog. Just look for the good, and you will always find that for sure. He goes on to say, open heart living is a beautiful way to live, a way to be in the world, free from blocks and walls, open to the experiences that all life has to give us. It's a way of connecting to others, and it also has a magnetic pull. It attracts others and those who want to connect with like minds. It also puts those with an open heart in a vulnerable position, though. But have no fear, he says. You are loved and protected. You will attract beauty and love from those around you. And finally, he says, for the third time, once again, open heart living is the only way to live. Being open, free, and genuine, no facades, no games, no drama, just being real and present. Finding your true passion for life comes from living this way. Open heart living will keep you free in this world. The more illusions you create, the harder it is to keep track of things. Simply being open and present and whole for all that life has to offer you. There's a lot of good wisdom there. I'm grateful I have that connection with him. So, how do we actually live a heart-centered life? I have some steps that can help you. I go by Reverend Bob. He always has steps. I love those steps. So you have them in front of you. I'll elaborate a little bit more. So those who are here have them from the bulletin, and then also you can find them on our website under, Paul showed me under services page, and then it'll say message notes or something like that. Lesson notes, thank you. Okay, so the first lesson is, number one, live life with intention. Don't be scooting across the top. Don't just be going with the flow. Many of us are accustomed to living on autopilot, and we get stuck in habits and behaviors that do not inspire, give us this inspired or support an inspired life. So living with intention, where you deliberately plan for how you intend to direct your focus and efforts, yields a far better result. Living with intention means every act, no matter how small, is infused with purpose and aligns us to our deepest desires as to who we are. In this next slide, I have a quote from Dr. Wayne Dyer's book called The Power of Intention, phenomenal book. He says, when you're connected to the power of intention, everywhere you go and everyone you meet is affected by you and the energy you radiate. I sometimes think we don't realize how powerful we are. As you become the power of intention, you'll see your dreams being fulfilled almost magically. And you'll see yourself creating huge ripples in the energy fields of others by your presence and nothing more. We got the power, people. We really do. The second step would be generous with your time and attention. Generosity of spirit is the hallmark of a heart-centered life. It means being fully present for others and offering your time and attention as gifts of love. This practice strengthens connections and fosters a sense of belonging and community. Service is the heart's expression of love and compassion in action. Helping others connects you deeply with humanity, and being generous doesn't have to be grand. It's found in everyday acts of kindness and recognizing others' needs. Simple things. This next slide from 1 John 3:18, John says, "Dear children, let us not love with words or speech, but with action in truth." And that really sums up service. The third step would be practice gratitude. Practicing gratitude enhances positive emotions, improves physical health, reduces stress, strengthens relationships, and increases empathy and boosts self-esteem. That's amazing. That's a lot. It shifts focus from what's lacking to appreciating the abundance we have in our lives and promoting an overall well-being and resilience. Cultivating a gratitude practice opens your eyes to the abundance that surrounds you. When you take the time to be grateful for your blessings, it transforms your perspective and invites self-love, more joy, and more blessings to arrive in your life. Again, what we focus on, we perpetuate and bring more of. Our fourth step is listen to your intuition, okay? I talked about this in March with my intuition talk, and your intuition is the voice of your heart, your higher self guiding you to what's best for you. And listening to it means trusting those gentle nudges and guiding, those nudges are guiding you. Even when they defy logic. That's the magic step. Even if it doesn't make sense, trust it and move forward. It will surprise you. It's about aligning with your authentic path and making choices that resonate with our inner selves. Your inner wisdom expressed through intuition is often better aligned with your true needs than your thinking mind, believe it or not. Your thinking mind's going to say, oh, you're making that up, don't believe it, but trust your gut, trust your intuition. Our fifth step, there's only 7, I'm almost done, is cultivating self-awareness and self-love. Okay, a lot of us are down on ourselves. So cultivating self-awareness and self-love are foundational to living an open heart life. Self-awareness involves taking a deep dive, look in that mirror, into understanding our thoughts, emotions, and motivations and behaviors. It's about observing yourself without judgment, though, and recognizing patterns and discerning between what serves us and what holds us back. Self-love is the natural progression from self-awareness, and it means accepting yourself wholeheartedly and embracing your strengths and weaknesses. Self-love involves treating yourself with the same kindness and compassion and understanding that you would give to a friend. Sometimes we don't do that. Sometimes we're so mean to ourselves. Like my cat. Sorry. I love him so much, but he was feral, right? He was found as a baby, a wild little thing, and he still is. He's got walls around his heart. Definitely, he is not an open heart living creature. But I am wearing him down. And my loving husband, John, what's that? He wore John down, and he adores John. And I'm just like, hello, I feed you, I clean your box, I kiss you, I hold you, but Anyway, moving on. Am I being judgy? Okay, the 6th step is be authentic. Authenticity is the courage to be yourself unapologetically. As I said before, it's about taking off our masks that you've been wearing to reveal who you truly are rather than conforming to others' ideas of who you should be. I once lived in a marriage like that. Not this one, though. John loves me, warts and all. Authentic people are in touch with their deepest feelings and values, and living authentically invites genuine connections that allow your true inner God light to shine brightly. People see that. People connect with that. Okay, and last but not least is number 7, nourish your spirit daily. Nourish your spirit involves engaging in activities that bring you joy and peace and fulfillment. Whether it's through meditation, nature walks, creative pursuits, or spiritual practices, daily nourishment of your spirit keeps you aligned with your heart and enriches your life with deeper meaning. So, to live a heart-centered life isn't a choice you make in one day. It's a decision you make every moment of every day, okay? Don't get down on yourself if one day or one situation you got an open heart and then the next moment it's shut down again. Just let it flow and get back to getting in touch with your heart. The process is a continuous thing and ever evolving, and it does lead to profound growth and fulfillment. And so I hope that I've given you some ideas of how to begin to live your life with your beautiful heart wide open. Thank you very much. And so now we'll prepare for meditation, if I'm not missing anything. All right. So let's begin by finding a comfortable position. Let your body soften and let your shoulders drop. You can close your eyes or gaze downward. I want you to take a nice slow breath in and a long breath out. Again, breathe in peace and exhale tension. Feel yourself arrive in this moment just as you are. Nothing to fix, nothing to prove, nowhere to go. Just right here. Let the outside world soften. And let now your attention go inward. Bring it gently to your heart space, right in the center of your chest. Not just your physical heart, but the spiritual heart, the seat of love, wisdom, and connection. You might even put your hand there if you'd like. Feel the warmth, the rise and fall of your breath. With each inhale, imagine breathing directly into your heart. With each exhale, imagine softening, releasing any walls or armor that no longer serves you. Let it go. Breathe in. Breathe out. Now, silently, I want you to say, I am safe to open my heart. I am held in love. I trust the wisdom of my heart. Imagine now that your heart is a flower, perhaps a rose or a lotus, slowly and gently beginning to open, petal by petal, breath by breath. There's no force here, just natural unfolding. A willingness to be seen. A willingness to feel. With every breath, your heart becomes more radiant, more spacious, more alive. Let this heart, your heart, be a sanctuary of love, compassion, and divine presence. If there's anything you're holding, old pain, judgment, fear, grief. Gently bring it into your awareness. No need to fix or analyze. Just notice. Offer it now to the breath. Offer this to your beautiful heart. Offer it to the light. Let it be bathed in compassion. Silently now say, even this I welcome with love. Even this is part of my healing. Notice how the heart opens just a little bit, not just through, oh, Notice, test 1, 2, there we go. Sorry, I'm so sorry. Notice how the heart opens, not just through love and joy, but through forgiveness, through tenderness, through truth. Now I want you to feel the love in your heart begin to expand. First around your body, then into this room, into this town, into this country, and into the world. This is your true nature, being loving, present, and whole. Now imagine moving through your life from this space. What would shift if you led each conversation, each decision, each step from the heart? See yourself embodying kindness, speaking with clarity, and listening with presence, loving without fear. This is the power of a heart-centered life, and it begins now, in this breath, in this choice, in this moment. I want you to send love to those you care for. That's easy to do. Send love to someone you may be struggling with. Send love to yourself, your whole self, just as you are. And finally, send love to the world with all its chaos, its beauty, its mystery. Lots of love needed there. Let your heart remain open, gentle, yet strong. And we want to repeat these affirmations silently in the rhythm of your breath. I live from my heart. I listen with compassion. I speak with love. I walk in peace. I am guided by divine wisdom. And now we bring our awareness back to our bodies. Feel the ground beneath you, the breath in your lungs, and the beating of your beautiful open heart. Know that you can return to this space, this inner sanctuary, anytime. Let's take one more deep breath in and a long, soft breath out. And when you're ready, gently open your eyes. Let this open heart presence guide your day. And we are grateful in feeling God's gift of peace. And so it is. Amen. Okay. Hopefully I didn't put you to sleep. I would love it if the usher would come forward. We'll prepare for our offering. There's our usher. It's taking a moment. He changed his hat. Okay. Oh.
Both of them are on. It's too loud.
Turn off your mic.
It is off. It's completely. Thank you. I thought it was. I know. Hello, test 1, 2. Testing. There you go. Thank you. Okay. Let's see. If you aren't here and you're online, if you would go to the homepage to give your donation, you can find online information on connecting to PayPal or using a credit card. You can also use Zelle. If you use Zelle, you must use our email, which is unityorlando@gmail.com. You can also call the office to arrange regular payments if you'd like. And for those who are here, easy enough, our usher will come to you. We thank you very much for your offering, and we're grateful for that. So let's say our offering statement together. Divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all the good I am and have, all the good I give and receive. And now I'm going to turn it over to Brian for another great song.
All right. Thank you. And you did really good going through that. A great meditation.
All right.
Yeah. And this really fun song for me. I wrote it for a music director out in San Francisco that I met at Unity Village one year, and it turns out to where it was good for us too. It's called "The Door Is Open." Clear my space so I can get rid of it. Open my eyes so I can see through it. Open up my mind, the door is open. Clear my mind so I can just think of it. Open my heart so I can really feel it. Welcome in my life, the door is open. I step into my life with a heart wide open. In situations realign to higher vibration. The spirit comes alive, transmutating my whole life. Clear my mind so I can just think of it. Open my heart so I can really feel it. Welcome in my life, my door is open. Creating my life whenever I think of it. God's love comes through and I really feel it. God comes through my life with a heart wide open. I step into my life with a heart wide open. And situations realign to higher vibration. The spirit comes alive, transmutated my whole life.
can just think of it. Open my heart so I can really feel it. Welcome in my life. The door is open. Clear my mind so I can just think of it. Open my heart so I can really feel it. Welcome in my life. My door is wide open.
That's great, Brian. Thank you. Open my heart so I can really feel it. All right. Well, thank you guys for supporting Unity Orlando, of course, and supporting me for being here. Let's see. Next Sunday, we have Reverend Paul. He'll be speaking, and his talk is called Adam, Eve, and the Prodigal Son. I'm looking forward to seeing that connection there. I hope they're all wearing clothes by this point. All right. If you would stand, please, and we will pray the prayer for protection. What is happening with that? Okay, thank you. All right. Let's go ahead and start. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. And the presence of God wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Have a